everybody. I am going to be talking a little bit about yarrow today. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. It is scientifically called Achillea millefolium. Here at Philbrook, we have a lot of yarrow. We use it for our foraging workshop. We use it in cut flower. We use it for our bouquet subscription. So we use this plant very, very much. We also just love it ornamentally in the landscape. But today I'm actually going to be talking about what you can do if you forage yarrow. It is known for its medicinal qualities, but you can also eat it as well. The leaves and the flowers are both edible, raw or cooked. But for today, we are going to focus on making a medicinal infused oil with this yarrow plant. So we've cut a little bit of it here for you today, just for you to look at. There are many, many different types and varieties of yarrow, different colors. But the one that we have here today is pink yarrow. I love it. I think it is beautiful. It's a charming little plant, and you can use it dry on your skin or fresh as a poultice. And today we're kind of essentially making something that is for minor cuts and burns and stings for your skin. So I'll just kind of give you a little tutorial of how I would do that today. So I have to start. This is one that I made this morning, and it's best to use dehydrated or dried yarrow. You can use fresh yarrow as well, but it tends to kind of interfere with the spoilage or the preservation, the shelf life of your infused oil. So I dried some yesterday, I dehydrated it, but you can also, the most common way to dry herbs is to hang dry them. So you cut as much yarrow as you're going to use, and if you just hang it upside down, tie a loop around it with yarn and hang it in a dry, cool place like a closet, a pantry, something like that, and dry it for a few weeks. A good way to tell if it is already dry or if it's dry enough is if you crunch it and all the leaves fall off and the stems break nice, and that means it's dehydrated enough. Mine still could use a little bit longer, but if you're drying it fresh, you can just leave it hanging for as long as you need. So I'll start today by showing you how I make my infused oil. You can use essentially any carrier oil that suits you best. It's common to use almond oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, but I tend to lean towards olive oil just because it's easy, and it's a lot of uses out of one bottle of oil. So I'll be using olive oil to show you today. You can put as much or as little plant material in your tincture as you would like, based off potency. So I usually I crush it up a little bit, but not too much, just because I also like it to look aesthetically pleasing, being a horticulturist. So I just crush it and cram it in. And I like to get the flowers in there as well. The flowers are best, and the plant itself is best harvested mostly in the spring, late spring, early spring, in the summer when it is freshly growing, and it is best to use flowers that have just fully opened in bloom as far as potency goes. So I cram them all in here, and then as you can see, it's kind of bunched up a little bit. But I've put quite a lot of plant material in there, so I'm going to leave this out, and then I might have a little bit of spillage here, but I'll try not to. Okay, and just like that. And then I'm gonna put my little cork in it. Sometimes if you have spillage, I'll just use a paper towel to wipe that off and clean it up. And then what you'll do next is, so this can sit in your windowsill in a sunny, warm place for 4 to 6 weeks, so the infusion process can happen. If you don't have access to a sunny window or a spot like that, if you use your stovetop a lot, you can also leave it on the back of your stovetop, so when you cook, the warmth from the burners will help infuse this oil. I do like to leave mine in the windowsill, and what you want to do is every day, or at least every other day, you'll want to pick it up and shake it to help the potency and help the infusion process fully saturate the oil and spread throughout the oil. And another important thing to do is always label your forage things. I know, especially if you're an avid forager, or if that's a hobby that you have, it's always good to label, even if you know what it is, to label what you're doing and to put the day it was done and the year it was done, so that way if you keep this for a very long time, you'll know what to expect. So as you can see on this one, I've put what the plant is and the day that I jarred this, and you'll want to do that with anything that you're harvesting. So a little bit bit more about this too. It's better to use amber colored or cobalt colored glass. I like to use glass personally because it's easier to deal with. If you do want to boil these to get the infusion process over with faster, it's just safer to do glass rather than other containerable materials. If you do use darker glasses, it will help preserve this, but once your infusion process is done, once you feel like this oil is fully infused after 4 to 6 weeks, you can sieve out, strain it, and sieve out your plant material. You can just compost your plant material and then just rebottle your oil into a different bottle. Make sure to label it again, and then store it in a cool, dark place. This will be good for anywhere from 6 months to a year if it is stored correctly, and then putting it in the refrigerator can extend that shelf life as well. So just make sure that you know what you're looking for. You want it to be fresh, normal smelling oil. Yarrow does have a little bit of a bitter smell, a bitter taste. So if it's the normal yarrow smell, that's okay. But if you have weird color or molding or anything happening in your product, just make sure to not use that, to be safe rather than sorry. So part of my graduate research from Oklahoma State was foraging related. So I was really, really fortunate enough to get to do this as part of my degree. And I also participate and lead a bunch of workshops at Philbrook, where I work currently as well, that pertain to foraging and harvesting plant material. So I'm really, really passionate about it, and we have lots of things to offer. For anybody who's interested, you should check out Philbrook.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.